Hello everybody, this is YSGuru from Japan Gaming. And yes, we are totally into that punishment and abuse. Welcome to more Guild Wars 2 jumping puzzles. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tribulation mode in the Super Adventure Box. And I'll be giving you some tips and advice on how to get through this very brutal challenge, but it's also a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun to do this with friends too, so make sure to do it with some friends so that you and your friends can die together. And the death begins. I swear, if you want to make any kind of videos with death montage, just do something related to Super Adventure Box Tribulation mode. But what's fun about Tribulation mode is, it's a unique and different way to clear the level. Because the usual way is blocked off by pretty much things that will insta-kill you. So here we have the balloon maker, and our first checkpoint is down there. Watch out for the sort of no-no clouds that appear, but you can run across them. As you can see Grism Troll doing that. But if it's your first time doing Tribulation mode, and it is a lot of fun, so I recommend trying it out. I recommend bringing around 20 to 25, continue coins, maybe more. And that way, if you have plenty of lives, because you can be killed by a flower. Because everything insta-kills you pretty much. And so you'll want a lot of lives. Like say you get to the very end of the stage and you're out of lives, then you'll lose all your progress and you'll have to start over. Another good tip is to do this with friends. And if one of your friends is, dying from exploding flowers and they're really low on lives and they want to clear it, you can let your friends clear it for you. And then you can still get the rewards even though you're really low on lives and you don't want to risk gaming over. And of course you can solo this, but I recommend playing it with friends. It's a lot more fun, a lot more laughs, a lot of silly stuff that happens. I will be making cuts, so you don't have to see all my deaths and all my mistakes. So don't worry about that. And then of course some tips about difficult... Whoa, that finger almost hit me. Some tips about some of the difficult parts. So when you're with friends and you get to the checkpoint, you're gonna have to wait. Make sure not to step on these buttons because the pipes will fall and crush you like that. And if you don't time it right, you kill all your party members. So make sure to kind of time it with your friends, and all your friends have to be there. And my goodness, these flowers are just murdering me today. But don't stand on those things and don't get killed by these spikes in the ceiling. Basically, don't get killed by anything, but everything here is trying to kill you. But yeah, make sure you coordinate with your friends at the checkpoints and make sure to wait for them. And your friends can't join you in this mode. If you didn't know, you have to start together from the beginning. Somebody can't join, halfway or can't join, near the end. Unlike the usual Super Adventure Box mode where you can join, your friends at any time. And I'll try to reveal as many spikes as possible so you guys can see the correct path. A lot of videos on YouTube, will show, oh, this is the perfect run. The complete path, but then you don't actually get to see where the traps are because that person, knew where they are and they didn't trigger them. So, yeah, I'm going to be triggering as many as I can to kind of show you where the traps are. And then I'll make cuts. So there's lava down there. Let's kill this stupid monkey. Yeah, another good strategy, make sure to kill all the enemies, because the enemies can get really annoying, especially when you're, trying to survive. So we've got our balloon here. Me and Grism Troll are waiting for Askep, who looks like he's trapped, sadly, between all the spikes. It looks like he's going to attempt to get out. Maybe he can get out. Sometimes you can, but there's really only one way usually to beat the stage. You can get up here, it just takes a little bit of a run. Smack the monkey with my balloon. That is one tough balloon. And then for the checkpoints, of course, you're going to have to wait. Wait for your friends to show up so you can all do the checkpoint together. And of course, make sure to trigger all these checkpoints, because they definitely make things more bearable. Now this section here has some pretty tight jumps, pretty long jumps. Especially the one right here. You got to jump from the corner and aim for the corner. And that little ledge you can just barely get on. So make sure you do a step-off jump where you're kind of stepping off the edge. And I missed it there. But yeah, it's a very, very pixel-perfect jump. There's a kind of a trick that I found that you can see your character sort of stepping off the edge, and they begin to fall. At that point, you can jump, and you still won't fall to your death. So there's a little bit of leniency in the edges in Super Adventure Box. You know, you can almost be standing in thin air, kind of off the edge, and you know, you can still be on it. My goodness, I'm just finding all these exploding flowers. Okay, so once again, we're going to get up here. It is possible to get the chest, but it's not really worth it. Careful, do these corner jumps. You're going to have to jump out and do kind of a corner. Because if you try to jump over those spikes, it sort of kills you. Even though it looks like you're, you know, safe and you're jumping over them in midair. And then we're going to take this tree path, which takes you basically to the dig spot. Which you probably know about, but there's a bobble dig spot up here. And you just want to go there. And dig up 20 baubles, and then be very careful. There's some spikes here near the checkpoint, which Grism was kind enough to reveal to us. And once again, stand here and wait for the rest of your friends to show up, because you can't get through the checkpoint unless everybody's here, and you can't stand on the blue because you'll be crushed. So my friends and I, we just kind of line up and then do a countdown. You know, do 1, 2, 3, and then jump on the checkpoint and die. Because that's always what happens in this game. Touch something, you die. Fight an enemy, you die. Now this is the part that most people have trouble on in the first stage. So in the first stage, this is going to be the hardest part, especially if you're doing this for the first time. And even pros, this is probably one of the hardest parts, going back and forth through this little ravine with these jumping rocks. And the hardest part is right here, the final jump. You want to jump from the base to the top. So not like Askep did there. He jumped the usual way, you know, kind of up a staircase, but you actually want to jump and skip, as you saw me do, to the top there. But you have to do it really fast. If you don't do it fast enough, the rock sort of splash damage will hit you mid-air, believe it or not, and will just destroy your jump. Even in mid-air, it can mess up your jump. So line it up, jump up here, and then jump down, just like that. So if you're solo, that's the way to do this. And yeah, I made it look easy, but you know, it's not the easiest thing to do, but that's the best way to do it. And it's really this final jump in this section that's really hard to do. You could do a death montage here. And of course, all your friends have to make it as well. Now, one trick that you can do, you know, with your friends, if one of your friends just can't do this, or they're not, you know, that good at jumping puzzles, is to have a friend go first, and the friend can trigger the rock, you know, for you, and then you have a couple seconds. If you follow straight behind, you can do the jump normally. So basically, your friend is going to go in front of you and commit suicide, and, you know, trigger the rock, and then you have a couple seconds for the rock to reset, and you can get by. But yeah, basically you can see the 3 steps there, and Grism's gonna trying to line up his run here. Jump to the top. Now he stayed too long, you see. You got to jump to that 3rd tier. You can't jump to the 2nd one, and immediately jump. And Askep made it. So yeah, it's very frustrating, but if you do it the normal way that you've been doing the level, it won't work. You got to skip that 2nd step and jump to the top, and it's very easy to do, just like that. So Grism made it too. Just jump to the top and immediately jump off, and then you can make it. That's probably the hardest part of this first stage, is that little valley with those jumping rocks. And yeah, there's lava below here, so make sure you don't fall. As I recall, there's spikes. Yeah, there's spikes there. I knew there were somewhere there. Gonna have to jump on these flowers. And yeah, it's kind of funny the way the ground looks. You can see the edges, where the ground is fall through, and there's lava. So we're going to jump over the spikes and jump from flower to these little itty bitty blocks. So yeah, see, it's kind of weird. Like I was above the spikes and yet I died in midair. And that sort of thing can, often happen. So we'll go ahead and jump around here. Now here's the evil Tribulation cloud. Getting all pissed off at us. But you're going to have to run around the corner here. Don't forget to grab the balloon. A lot of people miss this, but you got to run around the corner, grab the balloon, and then run by the Tribulation cloud in all its wrath. And do kind of a down view through the maze here. And don't forget that now there are spikes in the maze, and you got to do some, pretty high jumps over them, because there is a hitbox actually above them in the air. Make sure you don't jump too far on that one, or else you'll hit the wall. And then there's some spikes up here by this monkey. Can't seem to hit him with my balloon. Not that a balloon would do any kind of damage to a monkey. It's kind of nice to actually give a basic attack with the balloon at least, but yeah, when you're holding the balloon, it can make things tough. You can't do bombs. You can't do the arrow and bow. You can't do the boomerang. Oh, there's the Tribulation cloud. Oh my goodness. Came all the way back here. So yeah, you gotta wait here and try to survive so your friends can arrive. Okay, Tribulation cloud's deciding to leave. And this stupid monkey is standing in the spikes. Okay, almost got everybody here. Make sure to be patient with your friends in Tribulation mode. Some of them may have a harder time, but I recommend doing this with friends. It's just more fun and more silly and more hilarious. And you could definitely help each other out with triggering traps, in advance for your friends. Ooh! Askep was brutally murdered there. I think there's some spikes over here. I'll just be kind and... Oh, yeah. It's like, haha, you thought you could go the easy way. Well, that's what Tribulation mode is all about. If it looks too easy, it probably is, and you're going to have to go the long way around. I'm afraid of all these flowers. Then when I play Tribulation, or when I play Super Adventure Box in normal mode, I'm kind of afraid of all the flowers. I'm trying to stay away from them all. So this jump, I didn't quite make it. That jump is possible, but it's pretty risky. It's probably better just to jump on this rock. If you do it quick enough, that jumping stone doesn't mess with you. Unlike the other jumping stones that really knock you around. And just stay to the edge here. Kind of keep your angle to the right, so that you hug the wall as you're jumping on these very small edges. And be very careful when you jump over here when you see the Tribulation Cloud. There's a thing of spikes there, so you need to stay on the edges here. They go by those spikes. And I guess I gotta kill all these stupid monkeys. Come here, boy. For some unknown reason, I can't stand on this sort of square on top of the... Oh, come on. Jump out of here. Nope. I'm just gonna get murdered by these coconuts. I'm getting double teamed, triple teamed, I guess. I was wondering where all the coconuts were coming from. Die. Okay, and then from here, you want to jump kind of to the right. There's this little itty bitty path to the side. Don't jump to that tree, the last tree, because you can't make it. Oh man, I got hit midair by the Tribulation Cloud and then killed by a monkey. Lost most of my health because of the monkeys, so I'm back here. Once again, sneak by that tree. The Tribulation Cloud will be shooting at you from behind. Fortunately, there's no spikes down here. Just don't step on the blue things until your friends arrive. By the way, you get this Shard of Dusk kind of thing in your inventory, which sort of automatically appears when the Tribulation Cloud appears. It's to, you can click it to change the music. I find the hard rock Tribulation Cloud music kind of annoying, especially when I'm trying to concentrate. I mean, at least it lets you know that there's a super evil cloud nearby who's just angry at everything. So Askep tried to jump to that final tree, which you can't do. You have to do it from behind. So he's going to try a different route. Let's see if he's successful. The normal way, which I don't think is possible. But hey, he did a valiant effort. Great jumping there. And here we all are at the checkpoint. Remember, all the power-up barrels are explosives. They will kill you. So make sure to just throw bombs at the power-ups to kill them. Don't get near them. And you don't get any power-ups. And of course there are spikes there to kill you also. So if you were like clever and you thought you were smart and you destroyed the bomb, the spikes will kill you anyway. This is a pretty hard jump right here to the edge. Once again, do kind of the run, and then as you see your character falling off the edge, that's when you do your jump. And these edges have lava below, and that's a jumping rock. Just wanted to let everybody know it was there. Make sure to avoid that. Oh, and there was a finger that almost killed me again. Get rid of as many enemies as you can. It just definitely helps. And, oh, well, at least I got a finger, exploding finger off the wall, as well as found those spikes by the monkey. Sometimes the monkeys are standing in the spikes. So this jump right here, watch me step off and then jump. So you have to kind of step off that edge. It's a little scary. And then do the jump. And I didn't make that one. And there's the underneath lava. Just to show you that it's there. But yeah, the little kind of stepping off the edge trick is quite useful. I've never quite understood what the developers wanted to do with this section, but this is the way I go. It's a little tricky, but going around those spikes just on a barely on the edge there, around those spikes. But this is the only route that I know of. You can't take the normal route. There's spikes there. That is the normal route to the right, but we're actually going to go to the left here. The road less traveled by. And you can see my teammates are up there. Be careful, there's some little edge jumps here. Fortunately, there's no spikes. You can drop down to the shop down there. but after you enter the shop and come out, you'll probably have to kill yourself to get back, because there's no way back out of the shop. Now this jump you can't make. You know, as you can see, it's just too high. So you have to go back to this sort of block here and make a corner jump, and you can just barely make it, and you'll get up there on the edge. And make sure to time everything with your teammates so everybody steps on the thing at once, or else somebody's gonna die and somebody's not gonna be happy. And then fortunately the first cage here, there's no traps here on the top or around the edges. There's no spikes or anything to worry about. So you can just do the usual, run around it. Remember, they have more HP. So the cages have more HP in Tribulation mode. So even with friends, it takes a little bit longer to kill. And make sure to grab all these purple baubles. You've earned it, because that's lots of plus 50s. So Tribulation mode is just an awesome way to get tons of baubles. So alright, that was stage 1-1. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope this video helps you get through some Tribulation. We'll see you all in the next one when we head out to World 1-2. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out my main channel, YSGuru Japan Gaming, for cool Japan games and commentary. But in the next video, we'll do World 1-2, The Dark Woods. And I'll talk about some tips for some of the really tricky jumps here in World 1-2. We'll see you then.